ultimate despair. A group of people who caused a tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the mastermind's true identity. Huh. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now, we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. Alright, we gotta try and find a way out of here. Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that got you from the headmaster's room.
Indeed.
Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. And it can open any door in the school, right? And can it just simply open that door?
That's right.
Then we should be able to use it on that door, right? Then let's go. Hey, Kyoko, we can use that key of yours to open this door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out. Kyoko took out the key with the Monokuma design on it and slid it into the keyhole. Oh yeah, put it in there, baby. And then... click! Yes! It opened!
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Is it simply that easy? I mean, of course, it had to be Kyoko with that specific key to get in here for us to escape, but still. It's like, yeah, okay, let's just use the key. Easy peasy. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Finally. We were finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief, because the real fight had just begun. The heck is gonna happen, honestly? Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. Chapter 6. So we're just back and just like, hey guys, yeah, I'm supposed to be dead, but nah, I'm here, I'm alright, let's continue. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up, like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. Ho 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 ho, I see you, Kyoko. The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped, I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down.
Hey.
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm getting kinda nervous. That's true, like before you just, you're like, okay, I'm focusing on climbing. And when someone brings attention to the fact that what happens if you fuck it up, you're like, oh shit, and that thought goes into your mind and you start to hesitate and it's like, oh fuck, and you get nervous. Thanks, Kyoko. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. So, Kyoko, there was something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? She probably doesn't know that. How long?
So...
Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. But what? She comes from a long line of detectives, as in family? But her dad is the headmaster, right? Unless she was like the family that she was raised by. I mean, you could also say I come from a long line. Like, for example, if you were trained in a specific, for example, martial artists were trained in a specific dojo from that. They come from a long line. It doesn't necessarily have to be blood related or anything like that, right? Just raised by it or just trained like that. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. What family is she talking about, though? Then, is your family famous? Is her family Detective Conan?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. underground detectives, huh? Huh. But how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So...
Right.
Because we take pride in it. Oh. Pride?
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society, which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. A conscious effort?
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational. But it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because like I said, it's our source of pride. Pride. So that explains... Before I came here, I was looking up info about the school online. I never saw anything about her. That makes sense that it was actually just concealed. Because about every other Ultimate person, basically, there was information to find, right? You see Ultimate Pop Sensation, Ultimate Baseball Pro, yada yada yada. Because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However...
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Huh? By what she did earlier for us and, you know, sort of making us take the fall for not necessarily her actions, but just taking the fall for the trap that the mastermind set.
In
order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. Ah. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far as to enter Hope's Peak, it's because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that. I mean, it could be that when she was talking about her family and the Kirigiri line, that it could be like her mother's side of the family and she just doesn't have connections with her father's side. Because at a very young age, they lost contact, right? I don't know if the father left, I don't know why or something, but it seems to me that if she's talking about family and like the detective part of the family, then it would definitely not be her father's side, right? Because why is the father, unless like him being the headmaster of a school is like a cover-up? Could be that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you'd be reuniting after all those years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However...
There is something I want to say to him, though. What?
No
matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it? I hate you, Daddy. Why did you leave me? No. I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young, so I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented. He had a promising future.
However...
But he had no interest in detective work. Ah, okay. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died, and he simply ran away. But the fact that she knows this, is this because she found files about her past, or did she actually, you know, did her memory come back? He simply ran away. He went to my grandfather, and he had a huge argument. And young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
Right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Oh God, cold-blooded. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. That word pride is very important to her. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional. I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. See, yeah, that's true. Like, I feel like the old Kyoko, or the Kyoko that we just know throughout the first 5 chapters, wouldn't have said anything about this stuff, you know? So it's either she actually got her memory back, or she feels like maybe she owes this to Makoto, telling him that because of, you know, him basically taking the fall for that entire mastermind trap thingy. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true.
However...
But there's one thing that I can never forgive. Really?
So...
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
However...
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me, even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. And she just wants to be... Like, that's always going to be hanging over her. And if she cuts ties with him completely, she just wants to get rid of his shadow, basically. She doesn't want to live in his shadow, you know? I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
Correct.
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past, in order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot me about me years ago. But your family, to just cut ties with him like that.
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. That's true. Like, that's such a weird thing, you know. I actually remember, because that's such a strange thing about being related to a person, right? You have this sort of connection that's through blood. But I remember very specifically, right, the first time I went to the Philippines, which was like, I don't know, I think it was like 6, 7, somewhere between 6 and 8 or something, right? But these were family members that I never ever saw in my entire life before, right? For some reason, when I got there, it's just like they were really nice to me, and just like they acted like family, even though they've never seen me before, they never knew of me before. But just because of the fact that, you know, we're blood relatives and we're family because of that, it's like, it's just this thing that people immediately think about. Oh, we're connected due to that, so that's why you just act in an entirely different way than you would be as with strangers. But if I didn't know they were my family, we wouldn't be acting that way, you know. Even though it's the same sort of way. If you meet someone for the first time, it's entirely different. You wouldn't act that way, right? So it's just an entire sort of, I don't know how to call it, but it's just that was very weird for me at that moment, even though I didn't realize it back then. But just thinking back at it now, and especially how sort of conscious I am when meeting strangers, because I tend to be kind of on the shyer side a bit. I know, quite surprising, right? But I don't know, it's just that was strange to me, and I can sort of understand what it's just like, you know, for some people that connection through blood means a lot, and for some people it's just like, it's just blood. I don't know them better than I do other people, or, you know, so it's just how much that means to that person, I guess. And for Kyoko, the fact that it's just blood related, that's it. He left me years ago. I have no connection with him otherwise, so no relationship or anything, you know. So yeah, are we connected by heart and soul? No.
Hey,
is blood really enough to call someone family? Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. That's a good point, actually. Is just being blood related enough to call someone family if you don't know them, if you don't talk with them, if you don't, there's basically no other connection? Through heart would be just, you know, that you care for that person, that you have the sort of other connection that you know because you know each other. And through soul is also just more of some sort of, you know, relationship besides being family, that you know that person, you get along with each other and that sort of stuff. I guess it has to be a bit more than that, but just in name, blood is enough to call someone family. At least according to society, right? I was so shocked to hear her say something like that. I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. I just kept climbing the ladder in silence. And after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Here we go. Are we going to end up at the garbage thingy part of the school, you remember? I'm not sure. The garbage disposal thingy. The one that Hifumi at the very first chapter was in charge of? Looks like this is it.
Indeed.
On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember that hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Nice thinking, Kyoko. Imagine if we had gone through all the trouble of climbing this long ass freaking ladder and it's like, oh shit, this thing is closed. Well, here goes nothing. I reached my right hand up and pushed against the hatch. The hatch opened with ease, and so... we're back, baby! Back in Hope's Peak Academy. It's good to be back. I never thought I would say that about Hope's Peak Academy, you know. Oh, I'm so happy to be back in this school of fucked upness where a lot of our friends have died already. Looks like we're back.
Whew.
But I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of here. But what is Monokuma and stuff gonna do though? Like if he sees like, oh, Makoto is still alive, isn't he just going to take matters into his own hands and kill? And I guess not, because that would be against the rules, right? The reason he killed Junko at the first place is because Junko attacked him. But the thing is, like, we should be dead according to his rules, right? So the fact that we're still alive, I don't know. He can just make up an entirely new rule or something, I don't fucking know. I'm kind of surprised what his reaction is going to be to seeing us alive, besides all the other people, you know? Especially because they think that we're the murderer now, right? That we actually killed that person. That we killed Makoto Ikusaba. How are the other 4 students, people, actually going to look at us? Yeah, this is gonna be kind of weird. And now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor. Alright girl, what we gonna do? So, now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course. But if the mastermind finds out, and I'm worried about you too, you help me, so they might...
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
So then...
Then let's just get a concrete answer. Huh?
In other words...
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Wow, just that. Okay, well, he escaped. Is there a problem with that? And then... Wait, that's...
However...
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out. And it's not like we can run away. As she said that, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. That is true. Like, there's no way for us, as far as we know, to escape, right? We've looked for a way out for the last, 6 chapters now. And we still don't know any, so we're still stuck here. So we might as well be upfront about it, like, hey, yeah, I just, I don't know what happened there. I'm still alive. I managed to escape from the garbage chute. Is that okay? Because we're basically at his mercy, right? There's nothing we can do, basically. So you're saying that rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? I wouldn't call it giving up, though. It's just being straightforward. Don't worry. What you think is going to happen isn't. Because the mastermind is the one that's ensnared. She mentioned that before as well, but like, I'm not entirely sure what she means by that. I can understand that, like, that the mastermind is under pressure and that this plan isn't going according to plan. It isn't going to how he wanted it to, and it's perhaps just another part that Kyoko hasn't told us yet, and that Kyoko has done something to ensnare the mastermind, as she calls it. You said something like that before. What does it mean?
So...
The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Makoto's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down. There was?
Right.
If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. And it'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. Negotiations? I'm still a little... No, super uneasy about this. But we don't really have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the gym.
Shall we go?
Let's get going. I guess we shall go. Oh my god, these are the hallways that I never thought I'd walk in again. This is really weird. I'm actually happy to be here. What the fuck is wrong with me? Well, the gym...
Well now.
Hey! Yep, I'm back. Kyoko, I don't mind so much.
I don't believe it!
But Makoto's supposed to be dead! What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really gonna be okay?
Pum!
You were supposed to be punished! Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do?
Shing!
If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again.
Angry!
And this time, I won't leave anything to chance. Kyoko!
Right.
Do whatever you feel you have to. What? Kyoko, she has something up her sleeve, okay? I trust her.
However...
But before you do, let me just say one thing.
Now...
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right?
Huh?
I lose?
Hey!
You! Explain yourself! What do you mean by that?
Because...
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
In other words...
I was supposed to be chosen as the blackened, and then executed, right? Hey! What are you talking about?
However...
But when Makoto chose to overtook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The result of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting. Because you never imagined that in that position, one person would protect another like that.
Right.
In a response to that unexpected development,
Indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the blackened and trying to execute him. Yeah. So that means Monokuma isn't exactly... I mean, I don't know, I just sort of had this feeling all along that he was as evil and as fucked up and everything that he was, and he set everything into place and wanted us to kill each other, blah blah blah, you know, everything that he's done. I still had some sense that he not necessarily had honor or something, but just like he abided by the rules that he set for himself. But there are no particular rules, at least not in the thingy, that he can just sort of, you know, it was just always we trusted that whatever the answer was actually really the answer, and that he wouldn't just, you know, try to screw things up himself and just like try to trap us or anything, trap any of the students to by making them the false blackened, and then, you know, saying like, oh yeah, they're actually the murderer when they actually aren't. I don't know, for some reason I just thought that that would always be the case, so I just sort of assumed that back then as well, even with Makoto. So that's why I got a little confused, but I guess it makes sense that he just doesn't really give a shit. You made the choice out of desperation. No, more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
However...
But then there was another, unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come to our aid even after you killed it.
Am I wrong?
Now, here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't call Mukuro. You did. Huh?
Listen to me.
So executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. See, this is what I mean. If the blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? So what you're saying... So what Kyoko is saying is that Monokuma should execute himself?
And that means I lose? You talk a big game. You're saying the blackened is me and not Makoto? Well? And you can prove this, right?
Well,
No, I can't.
Don't just say it like that. What is this? A comedy routine? To make such bold claims without a shred of evidence.
that doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time, I guarantee I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there is only ever one absolute truth.
Pung pung. And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type?
Because
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you so love to inspire.
however,
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
What the heck? And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence?
indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey,
If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased. Oh, using it against him, Kyoko. Huh?
indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because what we said is exactly right. Because then he's proving our point, right?
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope.
Hey,
Gotcha, Monokuma. Of course, you can say we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us all wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. If you want to earn our despair, fair and square,
that's what we have to do.
then I suggest you take my advice. Oh my god. I don't know exactly what Kyoko has done, yeah, but she really has both the mastermind and Monokuma cornered.
So, what is this advice of yours?
It's true.
To do Makuro's trial over again. Only this time, you allow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair.
Let's go!
Hey,
Well, that will make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? A fair trial. One last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Makuro's killer, of the mastermind themselves. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept this challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word.
Interesting.
Barrett! Very interesting indeed. Barry? Is it the time for puns now, Monokuma?
What's wrong?
Oh,
I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So time for bear jokes. Now, what you've suggested might be possible.
oh no. Oh, the puns, they're not gonna stop, are they?
It would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
In other words,
Does that mean you accept?
You guys! If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And it would cause you unbearable despair, right? Then I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory?
I can barely contain myself!
Let's have one final grisly showdown.
He agreed. Then we still have a shot at this.
Bear it!
But this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely a fitting end.
You guys!
For this final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mystery that have been buried here.
All the mysteries?
That's right. Every last mystery that's pawing around the school. If you can do that,
I can barely contain
then
myself!
that'll be enough to qualify as a victory for you.
Qualify, wow. That is a clever one, I must admit. Qualify.
it's true.
That's what we've been trying to do all along. Well, technically that's what okay, we've been trying to do that all along, all of us, yeah. But Kyoko is pretty much the only one that has been succeeding at doing it all along.
Okay, well, good. Then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Makoto's death and solve the victory or the mysteries of this school,
You guys!
then you win. But if you can't do all that,
We'll all face execution, right?
I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me?
We're as excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
When we've uncovered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how this has all turned out. See, this would have all been impossible without Kyoko. So I'm just, trusting her at that end and just sort of sacrificing ourselves, or at least, with the intention of sacrificing ourselves for the greater good, has paid off after all.
Hey,
But before we get started, I want to qualify one more thing. Okay, clarify. It doesn't work that way. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's wrong?
I remember that, for sure. So what?
hey,
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And it's a true statement. What is she trying to get at here? She isn't asking this for no reason. But the point was, right, that that's none of us. We are the students, 6 students left, right? That none of us killed Makuro, and that it was a trap laid by the mastermind and Monokuma. But they're technically not students, right? So the class trials shouldn't have taken place in the first time. In the first case, I don't know.
You don't have to be so suspicious. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations, and having a trial for Makuro is no exception to that.
Huh? Makuro's trial is no exception? Then it's part of the regulations? Which would have to mean that whoever killed Makuro...
It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 students or participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students.
What?
listen.
Are you telling the truth? Why did he go quiet all of a sudden?
Now I'm really angry!
I'm done talking! I've got nothing left to say to you!
That's not an answer to her question. Well, indirectly, it kinda is.
So get lost! Would ya?
Why so mad?
Phew.
He seems emotionally unstable.
Hey!
Leave me alone! Get out of here!
Okay, I'm going. You're really gonna let me go?
I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting it ready. A super duper extra special punishment. Overflowing with despair.
Hey,
Come on, Makoto. Let's go. Okay. Dang, that's a lot of Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. And just like that, we were out of the gym. I could hardly believe it. But somehow, I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life, and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I wasn't Kyoko's debt. Kyoko, thank you, my girl. Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you.
however,
Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. Yeah, true.
whew,
But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from the final showdown, do they? No, they do, because for some reason they are really dependent on these rules, and they put such a great importance on the fact that so many people are watching, right? So I don't know the exact reason for it, but they place such a huge importance on it that they themselves also have to follow the regulations and stuff, right? Therefore, they themselves have to abide by fair play in a sense as well, you know? Like, sure, this is a game, but they can't rig it in such a way that it's impossible for us to win. Because then it's not... I don't know why. Like, the reason behind it is still... Maybe someone else is pressuring them because of this, or because of the pressure that so many people are watching. I don't fucking know. But they definitely are just so strict by following their own rules as well. And now Kyoko is just very good at using that against them, because she figures out, and she just knows right now that they're abided by the same rules that we are. Therefore, it's kind of, not really, but kind of an even playing field in that regard, you know?
so,
They had no choice but to accept. Huh?
because,
It's all because of that one moment that the mastermind let down their guard. Like I said. She mentioned this before, indeed. So when was it that the mastermind let their guard down?
so,
I wasn't there to hear it myself. But do you remember what the mastermind said? They said they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right? That was when we were in the data lab, yeah? Yeah, they definitely said that.
listen,
And what did you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable.
indeed.
You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off,
However,
and yet somehow, the mastermind was able to do it.
in other words,
But think of it another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult. A reason? Reason? What?
so,
They had to show the world something, no matter the cost. Us killing each other. But what is the significance behind that? that they had to show the world us killing each other? Because killing people is something that happens all over the world regardless. Doesn't matter where the fuck you go. Why is the fact that we are killing each other here so damn important that it has to be shown to the entire world? He wanted to show the world?
It would seem...
The mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. So they're, I don't know, are they like trying to show humans how dark and how evil, not necessarily evil, but what people are capable of at their worst? I don't know. Or when being driven into a situation like this. And all the rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody. Everything that, I mean, that was their entire goal, right? For us to just kill each other. But why? So something that is so damn important about us killing each other, that is to show to the rest of the world. I can't figure that one out. At least not just on the spot right now.
In other words...
So the mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other and show that off to the world. But why?
Correct.
To prove a point, most likely. Is this just a crazy guy trying to, win an argument? No, that's not it. That would be taking things way too far. No, trust me, man. People at their worst, they really can. They will kill each other no matter what. And another guy, no, I believe in the goodness of a human, in their heart, the faith. I have faith in humanity, okay? And the other guy's like, oh no, I'm gonna fucking prove you wrong, man. The mastermind is that, of course, and then he put this whole thing into place. Nah. Prove a point?
Hey.
The outside rules has a name for the students of Hope's Peak, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope, right?
That's right.
And for those of us who represent hope, to kill each other and sink into despair. The mastermind wants the world to see that, to try and prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal, as the ultimate despair. What? But once again, why? Do you want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous.
It's true.
You're right. It is ridiculous. Completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. But is that really their only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto.
I know how angry it must make you. And yet, that same motivation is what led to the masterminds revealing their weakness. What?
In other words...
Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world. The mastermind has had to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the mastermind simply ignored their rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter. See, it had to have been fair, right?
At the very least...
That's how those who are watching this would have seen it. So the only way for him to prove his point is to make the game fair. Otherwise, they want to. I mean, it has to be if we just put it into terms of those words, hope versus despair. It's basically a battle of that, where us, the students, represent hope, the mastermind, and by an extension, Monokuma, represent despair. And it has to be an even battle between those two, and the mastermind's goal is to show to the entire world that despair beats out hope, basically. And yeah, the match just has to be fair. The game has to be fair. Otherwise, people are just going to say, no, that you didn't prove anything because it wasn't an even match. It wasn't something that hope could possibly have won anyway. And that's why the mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves?
Indeed.
That is precisely the reason. But then I understand that you know, that's... But this seems more like just a bet between two people or something. Like, no, you know, good versus evil in a sense. But why does it have to be shown to the world? That's what I wonder. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished. But in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me. That's why, like, we can do whatever the fuck we want as long as it doesn't break the rules. Kind of feels nostalgic to see Junko like this, thinking of how long it's been. How long ago? Dang.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial, following all the proper rules, to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer. They made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when that fact was exposed on live TV to the entire outside world, the mastermind had to accept your suggestion?
Indeed.
To prove that to the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in perfect form.
In other words,
It would only do the mastermind harm to have it shown that they'd violated their own regulations. But all that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the mastermind to accept your challenge.
however,
Well, it's only thanks to you that we got that chance. Because you believed in me. Another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much of the mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. Exactly. Dang, I mean, yeah, no shit, she's the ultimate detective, but even knowing that, what she has done up until this point still impresses me. I didn't have the slightest clue.
wrong.
In the end though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet, but she found up enough proof to come up with this reasoning, and the reasoning turned out to be right.
Whew.
But it looks like I got it right. This time at least. I won the bet. She let out a quick sigh. I took it as a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. She's got nerves of steel. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him. Well, presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I'd shown my uneasiness, they would have just made you that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right. How pathetic.
However,
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time,
correct.
or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the mastermind, it'll cost us all of our lives. There is no option except to win.
Hey,
But before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True, but now we know who our real enemy is. All we have to do now is work together with everyone and destroy the mastermind. Work together with everyone.
however,
Is that really possible? Huh?
anyway,
Right now, we have to go find the others.
shall we go?
They're probably in a dorm somewhere. Shall we go? Alright, let's go. It's nighttime. Man, it's good to be back here. Oh god, I want food. Give me food. Are they in here? And suddenly, we were greeted with Monokuma malfunctioning. You again. Is he broken? What if this is the other Monokuma robot that was in a gym that was broken before? But why is he fixed now? Unless the others put him back together, and now he's sort of, you know, he is put together but not correctly, therefore he's like
Whew.
I suppose his emotional instability reached its limits. 69. Jeez, what the heck?
However,
I wonder what that was all about. I couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. Oh,
Is that
what is
Makoto?
up? Yeah, I'm back, yo! Look how surprised Hina's like running to us. I'm Makoto! Toko, I don't know why Toko looks so creepy, like, oh yes, Makoto is back. It's all going according to plan. Byakuya looks surprised and Hiro just looks stupid as usual.
You guys!
It is! There's no two ways about it, that's Makoto!
Why do they look... I mean, Hina looks happy and surprised.
you survived?
Jeez, you're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that?
Hey, at least I'll survive a nuclear war, Byakuya.
I'm just asking to make sure, but you're not a ghost, right?
Hero, please. Everyone was there. All my friends who had struggled together and survived. As soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up. Oh, don't cry,
What?
Makoto. Wait, what's that smell?
What the heck?
Yeah, man. That seriously stinks.
It's Makoto. He smells like a wet dog.
Get away! Shoo! Shoo! I guess it's shower time. And in a flash, my tears dried up. I guess we can wash ourselves with our tears. Well, thanks guys. That was a loving reunion for however long that lasted. Let's start from left to right.
Yo!
Makoto! What was it like hanging out in the spirit world? I didn't go to the spirit world.
You know?
Did you get to talk to her? Who?
Hmm.
Miss Cleo. No, I didn't talk to her. I mean, I didn't go to the spirit world. I mean, who the heck is Miss Cleo? Is that the nutjob who taught him all of this? Byakuya, I still can't believe you survived. Yeah, me either. Do you realize why it is you escaped execution? It was Alter Ego. He saved my life.
That's right.
Not too many people can say they had their lives saved by a computer program. I imagine it was a learning experience for you. How so? How is that a learning experience? So, what have you guys been doing while I was gone?
Well, we figured that since the trial was over, we'd have access to new places again.
No, but there's only 5th floors, remember? And?
Oh, no dice. All the rooms that were locked before were still locked.
So there weren't any new areas. But, Kyoko does have a way, she said before, right, that she has a way of accessing rooms, that the same way that the Mastermind had, of accessing closed rooms or something like that. Then where can we go to find new clues? Alright, Toko, she's probably not gonna have anything interesting to say.
You stink. Are you rotten?
I'm telling you!
Rotten physically, mentally, every way you can be rotten.
Sorry, I was rolling around in garbage for a while, yet I still smell better than Toko's breath.
This smell is so smelly.
What?
Super smelly. You smell even worse than me. Way worse than me.
No, I don't.
I win.
She seems happy for some reason. Alright, Kyoko, what we gonna
Makoto.
do? There's no time to indulge in an extended happy reunion. We need to explain to everyone what happens with Monokuma.
Yes.
Explain? Explain what?
Hmm.
But is it okay that you're here? What if the mastermind catches you?
It's true.
That's related to what I have to tell you on. Action. I need to tell you all about the last class trial.
Huh?
The last class trial?
In other words,
We're going to redo Makuro's trial.
Huh?
What? Seriously?
How about that?
What's the point of redoing it? Makoto killed her, right? No, I didn't do it. Like I keep telling you.
wrong.
Makoto isn't the killer. And of course, it's not me. Or any of you. Then, who is it?
I see.
What she's saying is, it was all the work of the mastermind.
Huh?
What? You're saying the mastermind killed Makuro? It really feels like, we have three capable people and three people that are just sort of like being strung along. In the three capable being obviously Kyoko, Byakuya, and Makoto, and the other three are just like, what? They don't really get things that have been going on. And that just sort of, as much as I may have disliked Byakuya, he knows sort of what's going on, and even despite the fact that he doesn't know as much as me and Kyoko does, he figures out pretty quickly what we're trying to get at. You're saying that the mastermind killed Makuro?
That's right.
It was all an elaborate trap contrived by the mastermind. Makoto spotted the trap in time, and did what he had to do to stop.
However,
But his decision meant that he would be the one to die.
What did you say?
You spotted the trap? Did you, Makoto? You make it sound like it was easy. I just...
however,
But executing Makoto, who wasn't the Blackened, is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rules state that only the Blackened is to be executed. The mastermind broke their own rules. Which is why I went and negotiated with them to have the trial one more time.
Huh?
And the mastermind agreed? Does that mean they really did break the rules?
They had no choice but to agree. You used the TV broadcast to gain leverage you needed, right?
correct.
Very observant of you.
Naturally.
I recall what you said at the end of the last trial. When you said, now it's the mastermind that's ensnared. That's what you were referring to.
Don't be mean!
Hey, I'm totally in the dark here. See, this is what I mean. Without even directly telling Byakuya figured it out himself. And the hero's just like, what? Who turned off the lights? I can't see anything, man. For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain it again later.
So, knowing all of this, what do we do now?
About that.
It's about who killed Makuro, right?
So our job is to expose the mastermind. Oh, Hina's getting more towards our side. But there's more to it than that. Correct? Yeah. For us to win this time, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school.
Every last mystery?
But
But we've been looking around all this time. We still don't know anything, right?
Anyway,
You've probably guessed already, but if we lose this time, everyone dies.
Oh no!
Everyone?
I hate you!
Hey, who said you could agree to those terms without talking to the rest of us? I'm fine with the way things that they are. I'm fine living here forever with Master.
Meanwhile, I want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible.
anyway,
At this point, the only way for us to survive is to unravel the truth.
Interesting.
In other words, one decisive, final battle. A rather interesting development, I'd say.
But figuring out who the mastermind is, and how they killed Makuro, and all the school's mysteries.
It's a pretty tall friggin' order.
Maybe, but this time the trial is different. We know who our enemy is now.
That's true. We know exactly who the killer is, the only hurdle that we have to overcome is proving it. Whereas before, you know, we come into a class trial not knowing who did it and not really knowing how they did it. So we had to sort of figure out two things, but now we already sort of have, not an advantage, but it's a bit easier in the fact that we only have to prove how the mastermind did it. So if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we'll solve all those mysteries. I'm not so sure about that. Huh? I can't agree with the idea of working together with everyone. She still doesn't trust everyone. You can't agree? Why not? I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries. The thing is, she might still think that the mastermind is actually one of the students here or something, right? Because of what Monokuma said. I mean, if one of us is the killer in a sense, and one of us actually is the mastermind, then that would mean that they've at least violated one less of the school regulations, you know? And that is the reason why we're going to have a class trial in the first place. Because the whole reason why a class trial have to take place is because another student killed another student. Not because the mastermind, or if someone else that's not a student killed a student, or a student died because of other reasons, there won't be a class trial, right? So, I'm guessing that's why Kyoko doesn't want all of us to work together, because there's still definitely the possibility that one of us, that's not Kyoko or Makoto, is the mastermind, and just disguised as a student.
Indeed.
That's what I thought too, at first, until Monokuma gave us that little hint of his. Hint? It's all very polarizing and all, but enough puns. Here's a hint. I'm sure I told you all this already, but this killing game began with 16 students, 16 participants, all of them high school students, and the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began. Meaning, that definitely is, I mean, that sentence just really screams to me that one of us is actually the mastermind. Out of 16 students, yep.
I see.
Monokuma said that, did he? Then Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable.
Huh?
But why?
So, in other words,
If the mastermind really is the one who killed Makuro, as Kyoko says, then the mastermind would have to have set foot in the school, right? Monokuma could probably murder Makuro, but there's no way he could have disguised a scene like that.
in other words,
But according to Monokuma, the only people who have set foot in Hope's Peak are the 16 students who have been taking part in the killing game. Then the mastermind is... Yep, one of the 16 students. There were 15 of us in the main hall at the very beginning. Add in Makuro, and you get 16. So the mastermind would have to be one of them?
that's right.
And of those 16 people, we started out with the only one still alive. Are the people standing right here? Need I continue? Or do you get it now? What? You're saying the mastermind is one of us?
No way!
You can't be serious! Wait! We can't say for sure that's true yet. Monokuma might have just said all that to confuse us.
Indeed.
It's certainly a possibility, but only one among many. The mastermind being one of us is also a possibility. I agree, it's better to play it safe than be sorry at the end. I feel like we'll probably be stronger and we'll probably find more clues when we all work together. But even if we just sort of work ourselves, we'll still find a lot of clues. And I trust in the ability of both Kyoko, myself, and Byakuya to sort of figure out this class trial. Even if we have perhaps a little bit less clues and stuff, we found a little bit less evidence, I still think that during the class trial, we'll figure it out somehow. And that is one possibility we can't ignore. Yeah, I mean, they're an ultimate, right? The ultimate despair. So they must be a high schooler. You can't say it's not possible. But if one of us was the mastermind, they'd have to be controlling Monokuma somehow, right? But did you ever see anyone acting suspicious any time Monokuma was active?
Well,
Maybe they snuck off and controlled him in secret.
but
I don't care how sneaky you are. We would have noticed someone sneaking off that many times.
Oh. Why am I gonna say this again? The thing is, like, I'm once again blindly following Kyoko, right? It could be part of the ultimate despair. The thing is, right? Yes. Oh, god dang it. If we try to think of this logically, right? It is extremely plausible that Kyoko could be the ultimate despair. The information going into this game was that her ultimate was ultimate question mark, right? We don't know anything about her. And she told us she's the ultimate detective. Now, it definitely makes a lot of sense that she could be the ultimate detective, but there's no proof other than taking her word for it. And sure, I don't really have any reason to doubt what she said, except for this entire freaking game, you know? This entire killing game just forces you to sort of be and question everything and not be 100% trustworthy or trusting of anyone. Therefore, I mean, imagine this: if Kyoko is the mastermind, she knows of all the things that has been going on around here as well, right? Therefore, she knows that what's been going on here then, right? Then she can pretend to like know everything, that she's so good at the class trial and stuff, and now she's giving us false hope again, and then bam, at the end she's gonna crush it like an ultimate despair would and could. So it is entirely plausible that Kyoko could be it, but I just don't want to believe it. That's the problem. Like, it would hurt so fucking badly if the one person that I've, like, you know, trusted the most, I'm not gonna say trust 100% because I'm not comfortable saying that with anyone in this game, in this environment, but the one person that I've trusted the most ever since throughout all these 6 chapters turns out to have just played us all along, that would just hurt me so much. Possibility is there, but dang, I don't want to believe it. I'd rather live in blissful ignorance and just say like, I trust you, Kyoko, and then just have her fuck me over in the end, than you know, I don't know. I just want to say that the possibility is there and that I'll keep it in mind.
I'm right?
Then maybe Monokuma was an autopilot. Maybe they loaded up all the dialogue and actions beforehand, and that would explain why Kyoko went sort of missing before the 5th trial as well, right? She can say like, oh yeah, I went to sort of, you know, went to uncover all of the secrets of this place, or to find out the secrets about it. But she could have just done all that stuff that you know, that the quote-unquote mastermind did on Makoto's body, and say that she was uncovering all those stuff, whereas in reality she just was doing the other stuff. And the fact that her proof is like, oh yeah, I found out all about this, but if she is the mastermind, she already has that knowledge beforehand, right? So she could have just, like, you know, so like, obviously that's knowledge that she's hidden, that she's not telling us, and now she's using it because of a way to somewhat gain a believable alibi of like, oh yeah, no, during that time I was actually gone, I had no idea a murder occurred, but in the meantime she was doing that. And yeah, you know what I mean, right? The interesting thing here is Kyoko said she's related to the headmaster. The headmaster and the mastermind, they are sort of connected, right? I mean, her story makes sense. I'm not saying her entire story about her being the ultimate detective, her father being, I mean, I found it a little bit shaky, but it does make it's plausible. It could be possible. That entire story about her being a detective, her father being part of that detective, and just, you know, stepped away from the family, like, fuck it, I'm not dealing with this shit, I don't want to be a detective. It's definitely possible. But I don't know. It's also possible that she's just the mastermind, but fuck it. We'll find out, we'll find out. In that case, there's no way he could have had all of those back and forth conversations with us. Well, it wouldn't be entirely impossible if they directed the flow of the conversation. Well, maybe, but still. What is this?
This is a school announcement. You've all probably figured this out by now, but at this point, the killing game has now entered true ending mode.
True ending.
So, in the name of fairness, I will unlock every room in the school.
Oh yes, thank you.
Look wherever you want. Solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit. Then we can all meet up at the class trial, okay?
Okay. Dang, he sounds really excited. I mean, if all works out well for him, right, that means we all die. That means the spare wins. So, obviously, he has reason to be excited. How very magnanimous of him to unlock all the rooms.
That's fine.
The time for talk is done. Now we need to begin our investigation. But... I was planning on working alone from the beginning anyway.
In the name of my family.
At this point, I can rely only on myself, on the Tagami blood flowing through my veins. I have no time to worry about the rest of you. Each of you must uphold your responsibility.
Goodbye.
Well then. After making his final statement, Byakuya left the dining hall. Master, he didn't take me with him.
Hey.
Do you blame him? Without Master, the rest of you are like coffee with cream without the cream, or coffee. You're totally useless. So bye. With that, Toko trudged out of the dining hall. And now she's gone. You're gonna go off by yourself too, right, Kyoko?
Indeed.
That's right. Which just leaves Makoto, Hina, and me. Yeah, we're all going our separate ways, okay?
You know?
In that case, I'm gonna go by myself too.
Just a second.
Wait, how come?
How about that?
Just wait and see. I'm gonna use my totally awesome spirit power to figure out the mastermind's identity. Laughing loudly, Hiro left the dining hall.
Aww.
Everyone's really gonna go off by themselves? What about you, Hina? I guess I'll do the same thing. What?
But,
I mean, it's not that I don't trust everyone, you know? But up until now, I haven't really been all that useful. That's kinda true. I just depended on Sakura and everyone else. You're not useless. If you hadn't been here, I would have died. Makoto! That's really nice of you to say.
but,
But still, I know I've mostly been totally useless.
okay.
So I figure, at least here at the end, maybe I can figure something that'll help us all get out of here. I'm gonna go off and do it all on my own. Okay, see you later. Hina was in surprisingly high spirits as she dashed out of the dining hall. And once again, it's just us two.
Indeed.
So, you're gonna go off on your own too, right, Kyoko?
However,
Well, don't misunderstand. Just because we're going to do our searches separately, doesn't mean we can't still work together.
so...
That goes for all of us. I think I see what you mean. Just helping each other give the clues, I guess, you know? Because, you know, you can have clues yourself and another person have clues, and if you fit those clues together, that doesn't necessarily mean that, you know? If you have 5 clues, for example, and another person have 5 clues. Together you have 10 clues. But one person having those 5 or 10 clues might not be able to figure out and see the same thing that another person sees with those same 5 or 10 clues, you know? Doing our own investigation doesn't mean we can't work together in the end. I should just see it as splitting up to cover more ground. And then we can get back together and share what we found. Yeah, that's right.
So then,
Well, I'd better get going. I have an endless list of things I need to check.
correct.
Monokuma said all the doors in the school have been unlocked, right? So we should be able to investigate every nook and cranny in the school. We can visit all the places we couldn't go before.
Makoto,
No matter what it takes, we have to uncover the truth. I still believe you, Kyoko, by any means necessary. And with that, Kyoko was gone, leaving only me. I don't have time to waste either. I have to begin my search. I still can't believe the mastermind might be one of us. So that's what I have to prove. I'll prove that the mastermind isn't one of us. I'll expose the mastermind's true identity and solve the mystery of this school. And then we can all escape together. Bang, investigation time. I guess I'll start by taking another look at Makuro's Monokuma file. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They also had been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. This is something that we haven't gone into at all, but the body has other wounds that are several days old. Once we find out who killed Makuro Ikusaba, then we'll know who the mastermind is. So, where should I start my investigation to figure out who killed her? I guess I should start with the rooms that were locked up until now, exactly. The headmaster's room, the bio lab, and the door in the data center with Monokuma's face on it. Oh, and the second floor of the dorms where the gate was down before. That's where it should be open now, right? After that, I have to double check the areas that are connected to the murder, which means the garden and the dojo. Okay, time to get started. Nice places to check. Let's go.